year, if not the best 5 I'll ever make.
This is On the Tee, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips.
It was a 5 that I was willing to circle on the scoreboard. And that's saying something.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue. Alongside Bally Sports' Stephen Watson, here's Gabe Neitzel.
I thought it was a pretty good Masters.
I loved it, man.
I thought it was spectacular. And I know there have been, the show that I do, Monday through Friday, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Chewy wasn't happy about it. But Chewy's not happy about it every year. I think it's honestly because Ernie Els doesn't play in the Masters. Like, every year, he's just like, I want personalities, like Ernie Els. Like, and he's not a personality. I think Chewy's just...
a cool accent?
Yeah, no, I think Chewy's just fighting with his own, like, age and still thinks those guys should be relevant. I think that's part of the issue he has. But there have been a lot of complaints, and I know the ratings were down, like, 20%, big time, which is... We can get into that a little bit later about the state of men's professional golf. But I thought Saturday was spectacular.
Incredible.
I thought the front nine was spectacular. And then the drama was all over by the time the second to last group was on 12 and the last group was on 11.
This is what happens at Augusta. You know the saying? The Masters does not start until the back nine on Sunday.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to start then, not end right away.
Well, that's what Amen Corner does.
It just ends right away?
How many people have had their Masters runs end on 11, 12, and 13? Too many to name.
Yeah, I literally can't name them all.
And we saw that happen to Max Homa.
Yep.
And we would have loved to see Max really give Scotty a run for his money.
And Colin Morikawa.
Nikolai Hogard, he made a 7 on 12. He was off the rails at that point.
Yeah.
But what did Scotty do? He made it 2.
Yeah.
And that right there is a 3-shot swing from the guy who was chasing him in Max Homa. The guys who play 12 the right way win.
Well, just any of those holes, man, because then you get greedy on 11. We saw 2 guys just overhook it, and the wind pushed it into the pond on 11, which you don't see all that often. Look, he kind of feels like Connecticut felt in the NCAA men's tournament, where they were just inevitable. You have to be perfect in order to beat him, but it still might not be good enough.
And you know what the best part about that comparison is? I don't even know anybody on Connecticut, but I know they're damn good. And that's how I feel about Scotty.
Yeah.
He's not sexy.
Nope.
But he's a robot right now. He is the Terminator right now. And there's no stopping him. You knew that he would not crumble. You knew that he would not let his guard down. The best opportunity guys had was to pull away from him on Friday and Saturday, and nobody could. And you got to Sunday, and you felt like it was inevitable. Mm-hmm. We were all hoping there would be a little bit more of a fighter's chance in the final few holes. But this is kind of what we've seen at Augusta, Gabe.
Oh, the last
7 Masters, the winner stood on the 18th tee with at least a 2-shot lead.
Yeah, I mean, the closest one, the one that was probably furthest along was Tiger's Masters. Because Tiger did not take the lead officially until he made his birdie putt, which was a little tap-in, on 15.
And why did Tiger have the lead?
That was the first time he led. Well, because a bunch of people rinsed it on 12 and then...
12.
And then,
that's what happens
Well,
there.
and then Molinari rinsed it again on 15. So, yeah, so he didn't take a lead. You know, we had a late, last 3-4 hole lead change. But after that, DJ ran away in 20.
That one didn't really count, but go on.
Well, I mean, it's
November Masters doesn't count.
I mean, sure, if you want to take it away, I mean, I still watch the hell out of it, especially given we had nothing else going on, but he ran away with it. 21, Hideki ran away with it. Scotty famously 4-putted and still won by multiple strokes.
He could have 7-putt this year.
Which is outrageous. And
John Rahm.
John Rahm. I mean, he did not enter as the leader in the final round, but overtook Brooks so early that the back nine just kind of felt, okay. We look forward to these back nines at Augusta, and we haven't gotten it in a long time, is the point. Again, the closest we've gotten probably in the last 5 years is Tiger's when he took the lead late. Other than that, it's just been whoever has that lead just kicks it into cruise control. And we just haven't had that back nine drama.
Yeah, and with it being 40 years of Vern and they keep showing the Tiger chip on 16, you're just like, all right, that would be really fun this year. But you have to remember, that's what made that so special, was that chip happened in that moment to help Tiger win the Masters. I was so happy watching all 4 of those days, especially Friday. How fun was Friday with the wind whipping? It was carnage out there. That was a true test in golf, and that's what made Sunday feel so right for me, was because I was like, the guys that are here deserve to be here because
the test they had to go through.
Yeah, that's what made me excited about Max's chances, not just here, but maybe even in this major season, that this might be the year for Max. And it made me appreciate Scotty to a whole new level. And that's probably where we need to start here, Gabe, is we are witnessing the best golfer since he who shall not be named, because he's still golfing. But this is the run he is on right now.
Sure.
And what we've seen in the last year, and I think what makes it really fun for us in Wisconsin, just like it felt fun when Brooks went on his tear, we got to see him win his first at Erin Hills. We got to see Scotty be that last pick on the captain's, Ryder Cup squad from Steve Stricker, and then go out and beat John Rahm in his singles match. And that's when Scotty was born. And we have those memories here in Wisconsin. That's really cool. And now Scotty is playing at a level, his strokes gained, his consistent dominance. I mean, we're talking about somebody who is winning at a rate that Tiger did. And we haven't seen it this consistently. He has...
But here's the problem, for me at least, because I want to pump the brakes on the Scotty is the best since talk.
You're gonna do the win multiple majors thing here?
Well, no, he's won multiple majors, but how about win something after April? The dude has literally never won. He gets to this point of the season, and then it's almost like he shuts it down. There's 3 more majors. We're talking about, I've heard some people talk about, maybe he competes for the Grand Slam. Yeah, maybe. But he's got to go out and actually now, he only has 2. Brooks has 5.
Yeah.
Rory still has 4. Rory's stretch of dominance, was also really damn good. So I don't want to get caught up in the moment.
So is Jordan Spieth in 2015.
Oh, yes.
I'm not saying...
I don't want to get caught up in the he's the best since and put Tiger's name to that when there have been other dominant runs that have been, to me, as good, if not better. Now, maybe Scotty does go on a run here. Maybe he does. But he didn't win a major last year. His last major was the Masters 2 years ago. So there are a lot of majors between now and, these two to be like, oh man, this guy's on a, no, Tiger, if we're going to invoke the name of Tiger Woods, you're going to have to win multiple majors in a season.
Let me make it very clear that nobody is at that echelon. I'm just saying over the stretch that we have seen this season.
Yep.
And I would date back to a lot of last year from you go really into the numbers, the analytics of strokes gained and all that. Scotty's, his rate right now is insane. He has 0 rounds over par this golf season. To your point about how he is unbelievable early in the golf season, 0 rounds over par to this point in this golf season. He has lost to just 1 golfer since March 1st. 1 golfer. That was when he had a T2 at the Houston Open. So this stretch that we're seeing from Scotty, all dad jokes aside of what the foreseeable future is going to look like for him and his wife Meredith, and when they welcome a kid into the world and how that might impact his golf, how can you not think about him winning multiple? I'm not going to go there on Grand Slams.
Yeah.
But I think he could win 2, maybe 3 this season.
Again, and then we can start talking about him as if he's that.
Okay.
I just can't do it yet because, again, we've seen other guys win multiple majors in a year. So so maybe right now he can be the best since Brooks. He can be the best since Rory. He can be the best since Spieth did it in 15. But especially now, and we're going to talk about it because the Rory McIlroy rumors and him addressing that, we're going to talk about that later here on the tee. But when there are that many guys out there, And when we're talking about the majors being really the only thing that matters anymore, then you got to, if we want to talk about, oh, you're the best to do it since that, and I understand the analytics tell us the ball striking, the tee to green, strokes gained, all that, it's fantastic. I mean, the dude doesn't miss a shot. His Achilles heel was putting. He's got a mallet in his hands. I still think there are some putting issues there because the one time he lost was that putt at trying to tie the tournament was not pretty. So I think there are still some putting issues he may have to deal with. But when you haven't won multiple majors in a year, and Rory has, and Jordan Spieth has, and Brooks Koepka has, when we have those guys in the stable, I can't say, oh yeah, this is the best thing since Tiger. Can't do it. Because you got to pass those three first. You got to at least equal those three first before I start invoking the greatest player I've ever seen play.
That's fair. I'll give you that. He's got to win multiple majors this year. Can he do it?
Absolutely. And I don't want to mean this to crap on Scotty because I'm not.
Yeah.
I think he can. I think he will. Because this is the same guy. And you brought up Max. What's I think awesome about Max is the relatability he has from the failures he's had in his career and the way he's been able to grow off of them. Like a dude who couldn't make a cut. Seriously, I think he won 6 FedEx Cups points the first time he was on the PGA Tour. It was bad.
Made $30,000.
Yeah, it was just made nothing. Got sent back down to the Korn Ferry Tour, dealt with the driver yips, worked his way back, got off the Korn Ferry Tour, got to the PGA Tour. Okay, now I'm back here. What do I do? Okay, found a way to retain his card. Okay, you're one of the most decorated amateurs when you came into professional golf. Okay, how do I try to get back to this level? Okay, now he wins at that level. Figures out a way to get good enough. Now he's competing on the PGA Tour level. All right, I want to take that next step. Okay, you made the Ryder Cup team. Played great at the Ryder Cup. All right, the next step, I haven't played well in majors. Finally gets a top 10 last year at the Open and then competes. Yes, he hit a bad shot, and that was kind of his miss, where he was hitting balls left, pull, goes a little bit further, and there's just so little room for error on 12. Carries it too far, hits the back slope, so it rockets up the hill, gets caught up in the flower bed, double, tournament over. But he was in that tournament for 65 holes. So close. And the one thing I know about Max is he's going to learn from it, and he's going to continue to grow from it. So I think that's really cool about him. And then on the Scotty thing, man, this was the same guy who 2 years ago admitted, here's what I love about Scotty and the same thing about Max, about how open and honest they are. Maybe you want Scotty Scheffler to be more exciting. He's just a dude who's going to love his family and can't wait for his daughter.
His priorities straight.
Yeah, just can't wait for he's not exciting, but he opened the door more than any other athlete I can remember when he talked about after that first Masters, waking up and being moved to tears because he was so worried about, am I going to be good enough? Can I rise to this moment? And his wife being able to calm him, and then, of course, he just boat races everybody, 4 putts, 18, and still wins by 2.
Yeah, the vulnerability was appreciated, I think, for most fans of sports.
So, Scotty's not, he's not an exciting guy. He's not going to get into it with anyone. But I think with him, the excitement can be the greatness he can achieve. I don't know how long this run is going to last. Maybe it lasts a decade. Most of these players who have gotten as hot as Scotty has over the last 2 years, it hasn't lasted that long.
And I think something that I imagine you would agree with is the state of the game and the quality of players right now in the game of golf make it much harder to go on any sort of run comparable to what Tiger went through in the 2000s.
Yeah.
So that's the most fascinating thing for me for the rest of this golf season. To your point is, can Scotty play in the PGA? Can he contend at the Open? Can he run towards the U.S. Open? We've seen him at the Ryder Cup. We've seen him now win the biggest golf tournament. What's next? I think he's going to win PGA because he's going to have that new dad energy.
So
everybody's counting him out.
Nobody's counting him out. If I looked up the odds right now, my guess is
he's going to be number one on odds. But I'm saying,
heavy favorite.
Everybody thinks that he's not going to sleep. He's got a loving wife who's going to take care of him and make sure that they're covered at home.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have that new dad energy. It's real, man. It's real.
I guess you're not a new dad, but a second new dad. I don't know. I don't know how to phrase that. That's a thing?
I got the hashtag perspective, man. That's what it's all about.
The question
and that's what I appreciate about Scotty is I feel like it's only going to make him better because he's going to realize what's important. He already has, but to a whole nother level, and what's going to drive him and motivate him towards greatness, I imagine for him is going to be wanting to be the best for his kids.
The real question is, have you acquired some dad strength? Are you hitting the ball further?
Well, I am working on some new clubs that are coming in, and I got my numbers up a little bit. You'd be proud, Gabe. I mean, we're talking like 10 yards. I'm not in Gabe Neitzel territory.
That's significant.
But yeah, I had a baby boy 5 weeks ago. I played 9 holes today, and I don't know if Mother Nature and the wind was helping me out, but I hit some spots that I was pretty proud of.
Attaboy.
So
attaboy. Well, but again, so that's the other thing that's impressive about Scotty is I don't think people realize how long he is.
Yeah.
Because when you start talking about some of the best iron players in the world, obviously Max Homa comes up, and then Colin Morikawa, who has that reputation, hasn't played and hit it as well this year until we got to Augusta. But one of his honest moments afterwards was, man, like, I think I'm as good of an iron player as Scotty Scheffler. The problem is he's 30 yards longer than me.
Yeah.
So now he's hitting an 8-iron in, I'm hitting a 5-iron. Like, you know, Colin feels like his dispersion with the 5-iron is pretty good, but also in a place when it's firm and fast at Augusta, having that height helps you be able to get it closer to the hole.
Speaking of somebody who hits it far and straight, Ludwig, we got to give him a shout out. I mean, talk about the next wave of great players. He competes in his first major tournament, and he finishes in second after coming off of Ryder Cup and dominating Team USA. He did not have a 3-putt in his Masters debut.
And this is why it's going to be so hard, like you said.
Yeah.
Because you got guys like that coming up out of nowhere.
24 years old.
You know, you start looking around at who you think you can win majors. You're probably, this year, there are only 3 left, and you're probably coming up with like 10 names.
Yeah. It's great.
Yes. No, the game of golf, I mean, there's so many good players. Yeah, maybe they're not as personality-driven as you want, but again, at the same time...
Not everybody can be Max.
No, not everybody can be Max, and you got to be true to yourself. And one of the things that I think our friend DJ Pyhowski from No Laying Up has said that I've kind of realized, and I'm okay with, golf is inherently uncool. And maybe it's okay if we're just a little niche sport that a bunch of people love.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, man, like the game of golf, playing it recreationally, it's never been stronger. And we'll get into some of the men's stuff.
And that's why I don't care about the ratings, because it still makes me feel a certain way when I watch these guys play at a certain level, at Augusta in particular. Mm-hmm. And I know that all it made me want to do was get out on the golf course. And in my mind, that's a win for the sport.
You have some mea culpas?
I got the apology tour is about to commence.
All right. The statements and apologies of one Stephen Watson are coming your way next. But make sure you're checking out our friends at golfthebog.com. Stephen and I next week. Next week is the week. Next Thursday, playing 100 holes out at the Golf. But you can play 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land. The Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. So book that tee time, 262-284-7075, or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf, enjoy the Bog. We love the Bog, home of the ESPN Milwaukee Open, home of our Ringer Golf event with the Mac Fund. Great people. Play the Bog, golf the Bog, golfthebog.com.
Back to the course and on the tee with Gabe and Steven after this on 94.5 ESPN. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing...
I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
Made by me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Nelnet Incorporated, the nation's largest, most respected student loan servicer, has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Facilities Coordinator Sunday Heidemann.
James Imaging has been a local provider for us for many years. They are reliable, they're responsible, and they take care of all of our printer needs.
Just what you'd expect from a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company.
I think we get a great value with James Imaging with their service and the contracts that we have with them, that our cost stays low and we get the most for our money.
Sunday, what's the benefit for you with James Imaging Systems?
It makes my job more enjoyable that I can count on these people to do what they're trained to do, and I have no worries because I know I'm going to be taken care of.
James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
You've probably heard about employee stock ownership plans before, but what separates Fifth Third Bank from others when it comes to these plans? A succession plan that benefits business owners and employees. From full and partial sales, second stage transactions, repurchase obligation financing, and seller note refinancing, ESOPs can offer tax advantages, increased liquidity, employee incentives, and overall diversification of net worth to help your company plan for the future. Fifth Third Bank, National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code DRIVER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code DRIVER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code DRIVER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh for the Bath Authority, and if your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew or broken tiles, you gotta call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Call 414-249-6934 to schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com, a better bath awaits.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan, Minnesota, and Nevada. Plus, Wisconsin Golf Trips is even booking custom packages for Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, wow. Let's hit them up.
WisconsinGolfTrips.com.
You're listening to On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
All right, I don't even know what this next segment is. I don't even know.
Yeah, we're doing show planning. I wouldn't even tell Gabe.
I got a text yesterday from our program director, Ryan D., saying that he heard that the Watson Apology Tour was starting today. That's even before I talked to Steven yesterday. And then today, Steven said something about apologies he wanted to make. I don't even know what this is about, but you wanted to make apologies. So this platform, this time, it is now yours, Mr. Watson.
Yeah, the tour makes 2 stops. So first stop on the Apology Tour is I need to apologize to Tiger. Because on this very show, last week, I said he couldn't do it. I saw the streak ending of most consecutive cuts made at Augusta, and it's stopping at 23. And what did he do? He goes +1 through the first 2 days and gives us that little glimmer of hope, like he has so often in his golfing career. I don't care what happened on Saturday, but for him to come out at that venue without playing really any golf leading up to it and compete the way that he did, knowing that the spotlight is always going to shine brightest on him in that moment. And for him to go +1 through the first 36 holes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Big Cat, I ever doubted you.
The only way, I mean, and I kind of feel like Tiger. I've had this hope that Tiger he had more magic left in him, and he still does for 2 rounds. He just can't do it for 4 rounds anymore.
No, and you could see that.
Yeah,
you could see
back
physically
locked up on him. Turns out when you've got that many just fusions going on throughout your body, but I think the wind being and the conditions being as hard as they were almost helped him because when I say he's the best golfer I've ever seen. He's also the most talented golfer. Like everybody always heard about when he was, especially when he was with Butch Harmon, he'd do the 9-shot drill.
Yeah.
High cut, medium cut, low cut. Oh, straight ball, high, medium, low. Draw, high, medium, low. And he'd be able to have all 9 shots in his bag. And he could play anyone at any time. And when the wind's blowing like that, you need to have those shots. Whereas, especially with the way that technology and the golf ball have gone, a lot of guys just have, I just cut it. And I think we saw that with Max a little bit. Like in order for Max, I think, to truly win at Augusta, and maybe he can win elsewhere, but to win at Augusta, you're going to have to be able to hit the proper shot at the proper time because it's just so uneven. You got to be able to draw it on command, cut it on command. Yep. Not to say that Max can't do those things. He's obviously not comfortable drawing a driver, which is why he hit 3-wood off of 13 and probably cost himself a couple of shots because he was laying up on 13 every day. And with Tiger, he's got every shot in the bag, man, and he's so crafty around the greens. One of my favorite shots of the entire week. Hole 3 is a short par 4.
Yep.
And it's such a tough green, and you're hitting these wedges in, and Tiger hit like a pitching wedge from 70 yards because the wind was blowing. And the way he's just able to control a pitching wedge
it was
from
insane.
70 yards, like nobody else has that shot. And he's got all these different shots that he can pull out of his bag from all these years of experience, from all these years playing different equipment and advancing into the modern equipment, doing all these things. Like Tiger still has that magic, and his body just cannot hold up over 72 holes. But he can do it for 36.
And I truly believe that's why Max played as well as he did. I believe that the pairing was perfect for Max. To be around Tiger, to see what the crowds are like, to know what greatness looks like. It motivated Max. This is the guy who always looked up to, California kid. And we know how much it meant to Max to win Genesis. I truly believe being paired with Tiger helped bring the best golf out of Max and might elevate him to a whole new level.
I feel more confident now, especially as a Max Homa fan, that he's going to get a major here.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to get it. He showed enough that he's got it in there. He's got the patience required. Just could not buy a putt on Saturday, man. Just couldn't buy one. Burned so many edges. And it's not like he hit bad putts. Like we talked about the Scotty putt that he hit at the Texas Open to try to tie or to send that thing to a playoff, and it was just a bad putt. Just hit a terrible one, right? Like Max, when he couldn't make a putt, like they weren't bad putts. He was being aggressive with it. He just, they ran up, but then he was able to make the comebacker more often than not and only made, again, 0 birdies to 1 bogey on Saturday. But I think he's ready. I think he knows what it takes now, and he has shown once he learns that in every other stop, I think he's got one in his.
I love Max at Pinehurst. I'll pick it now. I love Max at Pinehurst.
All right.
Number 2. All right.
Oh, boy.
This is hard.
Okay.
The second stop on the Apology Tour took a lot.
Do you have a prepared statement? Is this...
I missed him. I missed the content king. I missed golf's greatest showman. I missed the goofball. The one of one. I'm sorry, Bryson DeChambeau. I've missed you.
But you were kind of glad that he wasn't a factor on Sunday, right? Like, it's a great sideshow, and it's a great thing to keep things rolling on days 1 through 3. But I was okay with him not being involved in round 4.
It was perfect. Because the character arc of Bryson DeChambeau always delivers. That's why I call him the content king.
Okay.
That's why he's the greatest showman in golf. You talk about not everybody can be Max.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be Bryson.
Literally nobody else can be Bryson.
And that's what
literally
makes
nobody
Bryson
else
incredible for the sport. I actually miss him. And I used to dog him on this show more than anybody else. But watching his shenanigans this weekend, I miss him. I think he's so good for the game. And here's why. A couple of examples I wrote down. Well, let's just talk quickly about his character arc, right? He goes from the nerd to pushing boundaries of the sport, forcing other pro golfers to change how they approach their training and, their bodies and their eating, whatever it may be.
Even though he did it the wrong way, but I digress.
He becomes lovable somehow at the Ryder Cup. The iconic image of him walking off the first tee after driving the par 4, with his putter in the air.
Got up and down from 365.
Yeah, I mean, all of us have emulated that at some point in our golf careers. He goes to live. He's automatically hated. He says the outrageous comments about how he doesn't understand how the game can't just come together if he chases the money. And
it's just... he said that this week, right?
Of course.
He said that this week. That's something that wasn't a quote right when he left. He said it this week.
You know what he reminded me of this week? He's just a big dork.
He's just a big dummy.
And he's unapologetically himself. And it took watching him this weekend for me to realize, you know what? He's just going to do him, and he's going to do his YouTube channel, and I don't care that he's on Live. I enjoy the spectacle that is Bryson. When he moved a signpost, took it out of the ground because it was in his shot line, and proceeded to make birdie on the same hole when he was waving fans off from the back of the green on 18 on his approach, to when on, 15 on Saturday, when
his tournament ended?
When his tournament ended. And they're a hole and a half behind the group in front of them. Yeah. And you could tell Max is pissed because they're paired together.
Yeah,
and Bryson's...
No problem giving the penalty in the Augusta National Women's Amateur to Anna Davis.
Yeah,
but we're not gonna ding. We're not gonna ding Bryson.
You're correct there. That was a bad look. But it takes forever, and he chunks it into the water.
Yeah.
And then watches his his Masters opportunity pretty much go down the drain.
Turns out hitting nervy wedge shots that the clubs are the same length is difficult.
But then he comes back on 18 and jars it.
He did jar it.
From the fairway. And it's just the roller coaster that he takes us on, from his personality to his play. Whether it's good, it's bad, he just delivers the content. And I was happy to not see him contend. I don't think that it would be good if he stole a Masters from somebody. But, man, he was entertaining. And he just delivers in his own dorky, unapologetic way every single time.
Yeah, and again, I'm glad, because by about Sunday I get sick of it.
Yeah.
And, exit stage left. Let's let the real golfers play. Again, I don't care that he went to Live. I care that he went to Live, and now it's why is the game broken? I don't understand. We got to come together. We got to save this quickly. We got to do this.
He's just punchable, but he's lovable.
No, he's just a big dummy.
Exactly.
He thinks he should be able to hit a golf ball anywhere on the face and have it go straight. That's bad for the game. Ultimately, that is bad for the game. I don't know if you saw the YouTube content he put out where he used an old Nike golf ball, and that was supposed to simulate what the golf ball rollback is going to be in a couple of years, and how upset he was that the ball
to said YouTube channel.
overdrew because, oh man, I hit that off the heel. Usually that ball just goes straight. I can't believe it turned yeah, man. Turns out hitting the ball in the center of the face, that's what we're actually measuring here. That's what we're doing.
But he 3D printed his own irons and got him approved before the Masters. I mean, he's one of one.
I've got questions about that too, because when he's going, because again, now he's got irons that he's I can hit it anywhere on the face and it just goes straight. I got questions about how that happened. That, again, that's not for Bryson. I've got questions for the USGA. How are we approving irons like that? I got a lot of questions around that.
Okay, Gabe, I'm going to give you the floor because I feel like you need to make an apology.
Who am I apologizing? Why am I apologizing?
Your pick? You want to talk about this?
I mean, he was injured, all right? He had a wrist injury.
On.
I didn't know about this when we made the picks. I still stood by my pick, but he had the wrist injury. He wasn't completely healthy. It's not like I picked JT, who single-handedly moved the cut line. That was tough.
Spieth was terrible.
That was tough.
I don't care if he was injured. He took you on another ride. It just didn't last very long.
You thought there was a chance, though, on Friday he was going to do something to make the cut, despite making the 9 on 15.
Even with his friend helping him out, he still couldn't get there. I hope you're done picking Spieth at Augusta.
No.
Oh, gosh.
No, I can't. I can't quit him. He's probably not
Your
good enough.
addiction is way worse than I thought it was.
And the problem is he's probably not good enough anymore, which stings to say out loud. Because I really want him. Because honestly, if he does the unthinkable and goes out and wins the PGA next month and completes the career Grand Slam, I think there's a legitimate argument to be made. Yeah, Koepka has more. But when you have the career Grand Slam, that's something that only the upper echelon of the sport has ever done.
I would quickly tell you that that's more impressive than winning 5.
Yes. So if he can do that, and especially doing it in the gap that he's done it, honestly, I think the only places he can actually win a major are a British Open and Augusta at this point, and Augusta is quickly fading. It's unfortunate because, again, I think Jordan's really good for the game, but he just can't win on a consistent basis enough. And it stings. It stings. It hurts me. But I will not apologize for standing by my guy and picking him.
Okay.
Never. You'll never get me to apologize for picking Jordan.
All right, next year we're betting for money then.
I mean, I'm game. We got to figure out the actual money amount, but I'm game. We do have to talk about Rory McIlroy because there were wild rumors that happened yesterday. Today, he addressed those rumors. We discussed that coming up next on the tee. But I want to tell you about our friends at WisconsinGolfTrips.com because they present the show on the tee, presented by Wisconsin Golf Trips, and with Wisconsin Golf Trips, we are going to Scotland. That's right. We're going to Scotland in October. If you want to find out more about this, text GOLF, G-O-L-F, to 800-990-3776. That's going to be complete with the itinerary, the approximate cost of what it is. There's a pay now button at the bottom. Look, going to Scotland is something that I think every golfer should do at least once. I've done it once. Can't wait to go back over there. The birthplace of golf. You are going to absolutely love it. All around St. Andrews, an amazing town. It's always a trip that everybody wants to take. I promise you, you won't regret it. Maybe you were like somebody like me. The first time I went, I was lucky. But I got a last-second invite. I only knew one other person. Figured the other 6 of us would get along because they also wanted to play golf in Scotland for 7 straight days, and that's what this trip is about as well. So text GOLF, G-O-L-F, to 800-990-3776 if you want to join us in Scotland in October, thanks to our friends at Wisconsin Golf Trips and WisconsinGolfTrips.com.
No ifs, ands, or puts. There's more On the Tee with Gabe and Steven coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Hi, I'm David Gruber. When you've been seriously injured, you need the best team of professionals on your side. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices to get the results you deserve. One call, that's all.
Show the world what your business is made of with 3 Tree Marketing.
So at 3 Tree, we're storytellers through merchandise. Every brand we work with has a unique story, and we're there to tell it using merchandise, display, appreciation, and gifting.
President Kevin Van Rossum knows that's important.
There's promo peddlers again, or tchotchke vendors, or whatever cliche people want to use. But we work with our client partners to become an extension of their team. We provide ideas, unique offerings that fit budget, timing, as well as messaging.
Check out why 3 Tree is the partner you need. 3treemarketing.com.
Get the best of both worlds when you visit X Golf at American Family Field. Hi, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy and On the Tee. I love golf. I love baseball. And if you're like me, Brewers game days are the best when they're at X Golf. Book a simulator, bring a group, enjoy the great food and beverage options, and get a unique view of the game. Right now, you can head to brewers.com/tickets and get both sim time and game tickets. Plus, hit a hole-in-one at X Golf and Fan Field any day of the year, and you and a buddy can take a trip down Bernie's Slide. X Golf and fanfield.com.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Spring into massive April savings with the Midwest #1 automotive leader at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Cunis Auto Group dealership. Get incredible spring cleaning sale pricing on America's best-selling brands from both Buick and GMC at nearby Cunis locations in Greenfield and Oak Creek. Your April savings will blossom with incredible spring cleaning savings and discounts on our entire inventory of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. At Cunis, we make it easy to find the vehicle of your needs, always at a price and payment that you can afford. Spring is the perfect time to refresh your ride. We're paying top Kelley Blue Book values on your trade, no matter what the mileage or condition. The weather's warming and the deals are getting hot at your Cunis Auto Group dealerships, the Midwest #1 automotive leaders. Spring is the season for savings, exclusively at your local Milwaukee Metro Region Cunis Auto Group dealerships, or shop online at shopcunis.com.
This is On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
So, of course, we don't even get 24 hours of Scotty Scheffler being crowned as the Masters champion before we get dragged back down into the dredges of men's professional golf with the rumors yesterday that Rory McIlroy was getting ready to potentially accept an $850 million deal to go play LIV Golf, which seemed in stark contrast of everything he has ever said. But I guess, Jon Rahm was also anti-LIV before he decided to go over there. Also seems like a guy who's not very happy with this decision, but I digress. So Rory is playing this week. It's an elevated, signature, designated, whatever they're calling him on the PGA Tour event at RBC Heritage.
Terrible scheduling, by the way. They need to stop making this one elevated.
Yeah, right? Give us... Honestly...
I love the tournament. It's just, it needs to be the week before or be 2 weeks after.
I think there should always be a week off after a major.
I agree.
Because now we're diving back in, we should have this week to just appreciate how great the Masters was instead of diving back into this.
Totally.
But I guess fortunate, because wherever these rumors started, Rory McIlroy was able to address them today. This is via the Golf Channel.
Well, Rory, there has been some buzz in social media circles and media circles that you have been offered and contemplating a move to LIV Golf with some pretty astronomical numbers. What's your reaction?
I honestly don't know how these things get started. I've never been offered a number from LIV, and I've never contemplated going to LIV. I think I've made it clear over the past 2 years that I don't think it's something for me. Doesn't mean that I judge people that have went and played over there. I think one of the things that I've realized over the past 2 years is, people can make their own decisions for, whatever they think is best for themselves, and who are we to judge them for that? But personally, for me, my future is here on the PGA Tour, and it's never been any different.
Do you have any idea of the origin of where this comes from?
No idea. I think over the last 2 years, there's been so many rumors of guys, and I think, you need to, I think the one thing that I've realized as well is, guys need to keep an open mind, and I'm sure there's been players that are still playing on the PGA Tour that have talked to, the guys from LIV and had offers and whatever, but I have no idea. We've never, it's never even been a conversation for us, and it's one of those things. It's unfortunate that we have to deal with it, and this is the state that our game's in, and I'm obviously here today, and I'm playing this PGA Tour event next week, and I will play the PGA Tour for the rest of my career.
That's Rory McIlroy, Golf Channel, addressing the rumors of him potentially going to LIV. So he shoots those down very strongly. Look, when I saw this yesterday, it was just more, okay. I'm just so beat down by this whole thing.
Yeah, we're so exhausted. It feels like every week.
If he would have gone, I would have never been able to respect Rory because of all the things that he has said and has continued to say. Just like I lost a little bit of respect for Jon Rahm because he said, hey, $350 million isn't going to, change my life all that appreciably. And he still decided to make that jump.
When the receipts are out there, they're out there.
Look, and the other thing I guess I've kind of learned from this as well, especially from the bigger guys, from the Brookses, the DJs, the Rahms, And I understand where people are coming from. Hey, yeah, you take that money too. Yeah, sure, whatever. But the one thing that I was always taught as well is you want to leave something better than when you came into it. Like you want to leave whatever situation you come into. So, professionally, personally, whatever, that's always something that especially in sports, that I kind of took to heart, and thought about a lot when I was playing college baseball in Platteville. And it kind of reminded me again when these stories started swirling yesterday, and pairing it with Bryson DeChambeau doing his, man, I don't know how we got here. We got to come together. And these guys are so incredibly selfish. I'm just sick of it. I'm just so sick of it, man. Because none of them, yes, I understand, case by case, take the money, you run, so many people would. However, none of these guys are caring about what they're leaving the state of men's professional golf in. And it's just so disheartening that not one of them actually cares. And, I don't want to hear Bryson talk about the fans. I don't want to hear anybody talk about the fans anymore. Because nobody actually cares about the fans. Not one of them. Not on the PGA Tour, not on LIV. Nobody actually cares about the fans and what we want out of the game. And honestly, especially, again, I try not to care about the ratings too much, but I see the ratings for the Masters down 3 million people. And I think that most people are just so turned off by the men's professional game right now that good luck trying to get a lot of these people back, because a lot of the damage has been done. Whether Rory goes or not, I don't think Rory is going. But it also tells me that this rumor probably started from LIV. I can't imagine they're actually close to actually being able to repair this and have everybody come back together.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters is the 4 majors. That hasn't changed. And none of these guys actually give a rip about us, the fan.
Well, I think it's important, too, that this report came from City AM, which is a London-based financial business site. Like, there's no golf ties to it.
Yeah.
So maybe to your point, it was planted. Maybe it was just a way to create more conversation around LIV. I think what LIV did that's worse than splintering the golf world, and everything's linked here, but is that it overinflated what these guys think their value is.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately
none of this is sustainable.
Once you start to see guys get sums of money that are not just generational wealth, but multiple generations worth of wealth. And we're all human. You compare yourself to the next person. You can be a good person and do that, but you still compare yourself because that's just human nature.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see guys getting sums of money and you have a better career record than them, or you've done better at majors than them, and you see the money that they're making and what that does, like money does buy happiness to a certain extent. And I think that is what has created the broken culture in golf right now at the men's professional level, is that guys feel like their value, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense anymore. And the only way for this to eventually change is if everybody gets paid. And there's just not enough money for that. And even if everybody goes to the LIV Tour, then what? Then like if broadcast is going down and charitable giving is going down, but money is going up for these players, like that system doesn't work either. So,
LIV Golf isn't sustainable for a future of like anybody trying to get into that. It only has finite number of spots. There's no turnover.
Yeah.
There's no like actual dreaming of getting to that level, because you could be good enough and they could just reject you.
And that's what I get frustrated about when I see quotes from media about how Jon Rahm was upset about how other people were, treating him this past week at Augusta. And the thing that seems to be consistent with the guys who go to LIV is that they've made this decision. They've laid in their bed, but they still don't feel like there should be any repercussions from the human side of this. And that's what I get exhausted by and I can't continue to wrap my head around is, if you make that decision for you and your family, that's fine. but we're going to judge you. And the players who are, quote unquote, for now doing the right thing have every right to throw you under the bus. And maybe this game gets back to a point where everybody's playing together, but we're humans. And that animosity is not going to change. That is going to carry and be a low, dark hanging cloud around this game for at least the next decade, maybe even longer. And I don't know how it recovers from it.
You don't.
Yeah, the game can come together and guys can play, and
you don't.
Maybe you fake friendships, but
there's
still sums of money that can't be made up. And fortunately, enough people love playing this game right now that the game is strong.
The future of golf is through YouTube.
Yeah.
It's honestly people putting up clips and being more relatable. Guys like No Laying Up, Good, Bob Does Sports.
Heck, even Barstool.
Barstool's Foreplay. Like the video that Tiger Woods did with them this offseason where he fixed, I don't know, I'm not as familiar with the Foreplay pod, but one of their guys was like, oh, I'm struggling with this. Tiger, oh, easy fix. Like, it was a fantastic video. Like, it was a great video. That is the future of golf right now. Not the crap that you're going to watch on your television this weekend. Not the crap of, oh, I don't understand how this is happening.
And it's a niche sport. And if you are a diehard, you want to watch these guys play, you can. But
I've watched as much Masters as I have in any past years. But to this point, Masters excluded, I've probably watched the least amount of PGA Tour golf that I have. And I'll tell you what, this weekend, I probably won't pay attention much to what's happening at RBC Heritage. If I sit down and I'm not playing golf this weekend, I'm going to sit down and probably watch the women's game. They got a major going on this weekend. Nellie's playing great. She's won 4 events in a row.
Yeah.
I want to see if she keeps it going.
We're golf sickos. We just want to watch good golf.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm sick of everybody playing dumb, or maybe they just are that dumb over on the men's professional golf side. Where they're not dumb, though, is Erin Hills. We love Erin Hills. We absolutely love it. We adore it. It's one of our favorite places, not just in the state of Wisconsin, but on the planet. And it is Golf Digest 10th ranked public course in the nation. Great overnight accommodations, and very few, though. So, you want to make sure you book those early. Championship golf experience with the Drumlin putting course. You get out there, you do their little loop that they have as well. That is absolutely fantastic. The Kettle Loop is so much fun to play. You get to play off the little hidden tee box over by the Irish pub on the first hole. It's awesome. And speaking of women's golf, it is coming. 2025 U.S. Women's Open Championship is at Erin Hills. Learn more at erinhills.com.
Forget about changing that dial. More On the Tee with Gabe and Steven next on 94.5 ESPN.
Discover the difference at findhigherlove.com/CBD. Higher Love Cannabis Company is the only cultivator in the UP offering organic, clean, green certified products. That means quality you can trust every time. With 7 locations across the UP, including Menominee, Norway, and Ironwood, finding your Higher Love is easier than ever before. And for our friends in Green Bay, Higher Love is less than an hour away. Kindness starts with you. Experience Higher Love today. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD and follow them on social media at findhigherlove.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaukee County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer cater to golfers of all skill levels. Settled amongst over 250 acres of beautiful private land, the Bog offers a truly unforgettable golf experience. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, and after your round, have a signature cocktail while enjoying our Friday fish fry from the clubhouse overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
We know that the people of Wisconsin are hard workers, that they're tough. But even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
It's one thing to know that your name is going to be called. Like everybody knew at Caitlin Clark, the Indiana favorite, going number 1 in the WNBA draft last night. But how about all those fans, 1,000 of them, waiting for 2 hours outside the Brooklyn Academy of Music in New York to catch a glimpse of Caitlin Clark about to be the number 1 pick in the WNBA draft? I don't care if it's a trend. I don't care if it's a fleeting thing. That doesn't matter. The fact that so many people were invested, not just in her, but the fashion that we saw last night involving her and Angel Reese, and also Camila Cardozo. Everybody was dressed to impress. if this is going to be the beginning of something new for the WNBA, what a great new beginning that was going to be for the WNBA. And not just for the players, but for the fans involved. Whether they were old fans or new fans, they were fans. And boy, did they show up and show out. And not just for Caitlin Clark, now the Indiana Fever. In 60 seconds, no Giannis equals no Bucks.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle. Unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
So they're preparing. The day I'm talking about here are the Milwaukee Bucks to play their first-round series against the Indiana Pacers without Giannis Antetokounmpo, at least at the beginning of the series. I wondered about this. When I heard about that calf strain, my mind immediately took me back to when Kevin Durant had a similar injury, playing for the Golden State Warriors, came back a little bit too soon. People wondered if he should do that. And then he popped his Achilles in the NBA Finals when Golden State took on the Toronto Raptors, and we did not see him on the basketball court for over a year. They're doing the right thing by being very, very careful with their franchise player and this injury. But if it's serious and you run that risk, it is not worth that risk, in my opinion. He may want to be out there, but if you're the Bucks, hell, if you're Giannis Antetokounmpo, you got to think about your future and not just in the present, trying to win a championship and compromising your body when it's all said and done. For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman.
Is your business looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years and for the last 15 here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment. With your business in mind, commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
It's On the Tee with Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson on 94.5 ESPN.
You know how much I love our friends over at X Golf at American Family Field. It's a perfect place to go to work on your game. Try to get a little bit better. Maybe you only have an hour to get some swings in. Go over there during your lunch break. Try some of the great foods they have. And new this year, you can purchase your single game tickets for game days and sim time all in the same spot where you buy your Brewers tickets. Plus, right now, if you're playing X Golf, American Family Field, you're playing a regular round, you make an ace, you get to go down Bernie's Slide. Make an ace at X Golf. You and a guest get to go down Bernie's Slide. Find out more, xgolfamfamfield.com. Wrapping things up here on the tee quickly, Steven, our one call, that's all, Gruber Lofts' call of the week. Who wins more majors? John Rahm, Scotty Scheffler, both have 2 right now.
Scotty Scheffler. Rahm's broken by Liv.
He's so mad at everything that goes on around. He just wants to play a serious golf tournament. Can't do it over there. I feel bad for the guy.
The music's loud. He might have his bathrooms, but John's broken.
He does have the porta potty every hole. That was important to him. Made that point last year. We'll be back again next week talking about all things happening. Get out, play some golf this week. It's been beautiful so far. This has been On the Tee.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan,